in the sense that I don't have any equipment and I want to focus on a couple of series of exercises and just break them down a little bit more thoroughly as well. Oh, we'll still get everything in, but we're going to focus a little bit more on the roll up and we're going to focus a little bit more on the tabletop series. So, yay!
Yeah.
Go ahead and start with your head hanging down between the knees. We'll do an abbreviated warm up here. Nice deep breath in through the nose. You just want to feel that breath expand through the rib cage, and then as you exhale out, you're exhaling through pursed lips like you're trying to blow a balloon up. I also use the analogy of you're trying to dry your nail polish, so that kind of a pursing of the lips, which helps facilitate the transverse abdominis, the low abdominals. And then take another nice deep breath in, a nice three-dimensional breath, meaning that you're expanding all directions through that rib cage. That torso goes outward, front and back and sides. And with this exhale, slowly roll up, stacking the vertebrae as you go. And we're going to come onto all fours and warm up our spine a little bit with just some spinal motions, cat-cow, hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Start by pressing the tops of the feet down. Push away from the floor, round the back, and then shake out your tail maybe a little bit. Just trying to stretch the back line of the body. And then you'll release, and not a dramatic arch, but just kind of start exploring your range of motion. And we're going to round the back. And you can sit back towards the heels as well. You might find that that feels good. It might not feel good. Just kind of play around. You can do some lateral flexion. You can tip the head from shoulder to shoulder, ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. And just do a couple more of those, rounding the back and arching through. And one more time around the back. And arch through. We're going to finish our warm-up seated. So you can come to the, with the legs out in front of you or with the legs crossed, whatever feels good. And just work through that shoulder girdle. Reach the arms up. Go ahead and circle them around and back behind you and around your back. I've got my palms going towards the ceiling, so the backs of the hands are just resting on the floor. And now I'm going to sweep the arms up. And they're going to come in front, and we're going to round the back. And just rest. Try to get all the tension, all the heaviness out of the shoulders so that they're just loose and relaxed. And then one more time, reach up, inhale. Exhale, you're going to bring the arms right in front of you. And pretend that you're putting your fingertips into a toaster, into toaster slots. So you'll reach the fingertips forward, and then draw the shoulder blades back. And reach forward, and draw the shoulder blades back. One more time, reach forward. And shoulder blades back. And then reach overhead and reach right in front of you. Inhale to lift the arms. And exhale, bring right in front of you. One more time, inhale. And exhale. And then we'll go right into rolling like a ball. So massaging the spine. You have the feet together, big toes and heels touch, and then have some space between the knees. Place the hands right on the shins, lift your feet and hover them off the floor. Use your inhale, and that is going to take you back. So you'll inhale, you'll roll back across the shoulders, exhale, come up and try to find your balance just behind the sits bones. And inhale, and exhale up. So you'll notice there might be some thunking. If you feel the thunk, see if you can stretch that out. See if you can loosen up the vertebra. So you're trying to get each vertebra to roll across the floor individually. One more. And then we'll stay up. Legs reach right out in front. Feet are flexed. Sitting up as tall as you can. If you need to keep a bend in the knees, go ahead and keep a bend in the knees. Try not to grip through the hip flexors if at all possible. Just kind of shake that out. And now flex your feet. Crown of the head reaches to the ceiling. Inhale. One vertebra at a time. You're going to roll down through the spine. Try not to collapse. Keeping vertical, so we're just going part way down, and then we stack the vertebra to come back up to a seated position. Deep breath in, and then as you exhale, drop the chin, sink the collarbone in, and then allow the ribs to sink back towards the spine. You're going to feel a little opening on the back line of the body, and one more time, stack. And last time, inhale. Exhale, nod the chin. Allow that collarbone to disappear, to sink back towards the back line, and then the rib cage does the same thing. And then roll back up. Moving into the roll up, I want us to start with the knees bent. Reach the arms out in front of you, and then as slowly as you can, make your way down onto your back. So you're tucking your pelvis, you're getting your low back to touch down, and you're coming all the way down. Reaching the arms overhead, go ahead and let them touch the floor and find that spot where you're basically hyperextending through the back. You're going to feel the rib cage pop up off the floor, possibly the low back is really arched. So from here, lift your arms just until you can find a nice spot for the ribs to melt down on the floor. And that's basically as low as you're going to take your arms on the roll up. Using the breath, we inhale, we're starting with the prep. Inhale the arms straight up to the ceiling. Exhale, the head, shoulders follow. Just hover the hands by the sides, nod the chin. Keep the chin nodding. Inhale, the arms go back up. Exhale, roll that back down. And again, inhale the arms. Exhale, right away, press that low back down. Inhale the arms up, and then exhale down. So you may find that it's easy to go right into the roll up from here. If it is comfortable for you, then you can do that. We'll do one together. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, press the low back down. Scoop through the abdominals. Come up and over the pelvis, reaching those hands towards the feet. And then inhale, center low back down. Exhale, smoothly roll all the way down. What we find is that some people get stuck along the way, and it's not because the abs are weak, it's because there's tightness in the back. So if you have tightness in your back, you can grab behind the thigh, help yourself up, and just work on the roll down portion, really tucking the pelvis under, scooping through the abdominals, and rolling on down. And if you do that, go ahead and alternate which leg helps you up, and then rolling on down. You may find having the knees bent. Inhale the arms. Exhale, grabbing behind both thighs to curl yourself up, and then straightening out those legs to reach forward. And then inhale. Exhale to roll on down. If you need to make this more difficult, bring the feet together. Inhale the arms. Exhale, press the low back down. Scoop through the abdominals, reach up and over towards your feet. And then inhale, exhale, slowly, smoothly roll on down. There's also a variation called neck pull, which we typically have the hands in front of the forehead so you're not really pulling on the neck. Other modalities have you place the hands behind the head so you can roll up that direction. But you'll find when you use the neck pull variation, you have to keep those elbows fighting to stay back because they do want to pitch forward on this. Just going to do two more of your choice, whichever variation works. I also like the variation where you get to the top, you grab onto the outside of your feet, and then just pedal out the knees so you can get a little more opening into that low back area. It feels really nice. It just gives you a little extra stretch right across the low back. And we'll use our final roll up and we'll stay up. Sitting up tall. You can have the legs stay out in front of you. You can cross the legs again. It's whatever feels good. Reach your arms out to the side. Shoulders are down for spine twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist one direction for 3, 2, 1, and back to center. Other way. 2, 3, and back to center. Twist. 2 and 3, and center again. Twist. 2, 3, center. Think tall, taller, tallest, and center. Really reaching those fingers in opposition, 2, 3, and center one more time. 2, 3, center, arms down. Okay, we've already done rolling like a ball, so you can go back to rolling like a ball, or you can go into open leg rocker. So rolling like a ball, again, we're just massaging the spine. Open leg rocker is a little more advanced. You extend those legs up in the air. You find that V, that teaser V position that you're kind of holding. And roll back. And roll up. And roll back. And on up. Woo! Ha-ha! And one more. And on up. Bending the knees, grabbing behind your thighs. Moving into our tabletop series. So from here, roll yourself down until you feel that low back rock into place. Yep. We are trying to keep the shoulder blades off the floor. From here, release your thighs. Single leg reach. One leg, other leg. Reach and reach. Inhale and exhale. If you want hands, opposite hand on the inside of the leg, same hand on the outside of the ankle. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And if this bothers the neck, you always have the option of placing the head, shoulders down. You might want to angle the legs up a little bit higher so you can really keep that low back pressing down. Inhale and exhale. One more set right here for inhale and exhale. Take a little break. Hug the knees in. Long breath in through the nose. Long breath out through the mouth. Helping yourself back up. Taking the hands behind the head this time. And automatically it's going to want to pull you back because you have that weight behind the head. We're crossing over. Opposite armpit towards the knee. Elbow towards the ceiling. Breathing in, out, out. Try to let the head be dead weight in those hands. Inhale and exhale. Barely putting any weight on those shoulder blades if at all possible. Inhale and exhale. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Hug those knees in. Again, deep breath in, deep breath out. Slow double leg stretch comes next. Soles of the feet together. Actually, not really the soles of the feet. It's the big toe and the heels. So the big toes are touching and the heels are touching. The hands are resting on the knees or the shins, and your knees are slightly open. They're about hip distance, maybe a little bit wider than hip distance, with the hands on the outside of the knees. Inhale, nod the chin. Exhale, lift your head, shoulders up off the floor. Inhale, you're going to straighten the legs, reach the arms by the sides. Exhale, flex your feet, reach your arms overhead. Inhale, turn the legs out, point the toes. See if you can come up into your T's or V. And then exhale, roll on down. So with a little assist with the hands, inhale, nod the chin. Exhale, curl the head, shoulders up. Keep the hands attached to the thighs. From here, you'll just flex your feet, keep your arms right where they are. You're going to turn the legs out. See if you can pull yourself up into your T's or V. And then you'll roll yourself back down. You also have the option, inhale, nod the chin. Exhale, curl the head, shoulders up. To just stay this high, reach the legs, hands by the sides. Then you'll reach your arms overhead. Turn out, stay low, reach, 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 and then bend. So you have lots of room to grow with this exercise. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, flex, reach. Inhale, point, scoop, lift, and lower. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, flex, reach, and turn out, point, scoop, lift, and lower on down. Double leg stretch, right into scissors. So double leg stretch, bring the knees together, hands down by the sides. Curl the head, shoulders up. We're gonna stay up the whole time. You'll reach the arms overhead, reach the legs long. Bend and sweep. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend, sweep. So again, you can keep the head, shoulders down and just work on the arm leg motion. And eventually, you'll get that ab strength to curl the head, shoulders up. Lengthen and sweep. Inhale. Inhale and exhale. One more. Hold here and scissor. Try to lift your upper body to meet the thigh rather than yanking the leg down to meet you. One more right, one more left, and relax. Now we get to do some nice stretching before we move into some leg work. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Let both knees drop to your right. Keep the knees pointing to the right and take your right foot on top of the left thigh. This may be enough stretch. If this is enough stretch, stay here. If you want a little more, you're going to take the hands together, clasp the hands, reach them overhead so that they're on the floor, reaching above your head. And then squeeze your left glute to try to get the left knee down and just try to open up that left hip a little more. It's like you're getting pulled in opposite directions. And release the arms down, release the right foot to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Keep your feet wide and let the knees drop to the left. So this side for me is not as open. The left foot comes on top of the right thigh. My right knee doesn't quite touch the floor on this side. It's not uncomfortable, it just doesn't have the same range of motion. So don't judge yourself if one side is tighter than the other, because that's pretty much the case for all of us. Clasp those hands if you'd like, reach them overhead. Ooh, and that is tight, 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 tight. Squeeze that right cheek if you need to. And release. Left foot to the floor, knees to the ceiling. We're going to take that right ankle on the left thigh and let your knee drop from side to side. Just unloading the low back a little bit more. Coming to the center, cross your right leg all the way over the left and then hug those thighs in. Left ankle on the right thigh, let the left knee open up, and let your left knee drop to the floor. Then the right knee drops to the floor. And you do that a couple more times each direction. Back to center, cross that left leg all the way over the right. Hug those thighs in. Keep the belly drawing in, away from the waistband, so that you have somewhere to pull those legs. And release. Rocking yourself up. We're going to come down onto the right side. I want you to be at a little bit of a hinge position, so your upper body is at about, is nice and long and lines up with your mat. And then the bottom half is going to angle slightly forward. So if you had your legs out straight, you'd be at about, I'd say, maybe 30 to 45 degrees forward, not crazy forward. You don't have to be 90. We're not looking for that. We're looking for a little bit more narrow. And then bend that bottom leg. Keep that top leg lifted. And from here, I want to start with our kick forward. We're going to flex that foot. You're going to kick forward without changing your pelvis. And then you're going to point the toe and sweep it back, opening up the front of that hip and squeezing the tush. So really get that glute to fire on the back. And inhale forward for 2. Exhale, reach, runaway ball. And forward, and reach. And kick for 2, and reach long. And you may notice that you're getting a little bit more stretch with every reach back because that's opening up that psoas. It's stretching that nice long muscle that connects that thigh bone to the spine. Reach and kick, and reach. One more time, forward, and reach. A little bit different order of things, and then you're going to bring your feet together. Keep the feet together, but lift the feet off the floor. And open and close the knee. And typically we exhale as we open, inhale as we close, but as long as you're not holding your breath, it doesn't really matter. Try to keep the shoulders and the neck, throat, and jaw relaxed. Then place your feet down. The range of motion is going to be a little bit smaller, but do the exact same thing with the feet staying on the floor. Keeping the hips stacked, which means there's going to be a little bit of space between the waist and the mat. And then extend the leg, keep the leg extended, and draw a circle with your big toe. Reverse. And then extend those legs out, and we are finally going to have a little bit of a turnout. So you get to turn the legs out and just slightly forward with that, with the legs. They're just in front of the hips, just barely. Not super straight, but not, you're not in a straight line. That's what I was looking to try to say. I'm still a little jet lagged. That's my excuse. I want you to draw that toe to the knee, bring the knee to the shoulder, extend the leg up, flex the foot, lower the heel down, point the toe, bring the toe to the knee, knee to the shoulder, then extend, flex, and lower, and point, and développé, here, extend, and flex down, 2 more, point, knee to shoulder, extend, flex, and lower. 1 more time. And rest. Rolling right onto your belly. We're still working that same leg, so whichever leg you are working. I was working my left, so I'm still working my left. We're coming down onto, if you have your hands stacked, and then rest your forehead on the hands. Keep the pelvis slightly tucked under and lift that left leg up off the floor. And now bend that left knee and find that hamstring connection and woo, and maybe a little cramp. Flex your foot and small lift, pressing that left hip into the floor. Small lift with that foot pressing towards the ceiling, press. Your other leg is firmly planted on the mat. Little lift. Shouldn't feel anything in the low back. Tiny, tiny movement and press. Press. 2 more. And reach. Now point the toe, extend the leg out. Keep that right leg firmly pressing into the floor. Lift that left leg and tiny little lift, firing into that left glute. Lift, lift, lift. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1, and rest. Push back into a little child's pose. And it's always interesting to take inventory of how the body feels when you've only done one side of something. So my right side feels very shortened, very quiet, and there's a lot of activity happening on the left side, and the side waist, the glutes, even in this position right here, having those muscles stretch, they feel completely different than the other side. So let's try to even some things out. We're going to come onto the left side now, or the other side, whatever that is for you. Having those legs slightly forward, then you'll bend your bottom leg, you'll lift your top one, flex your foot and kick forward for 2, and then reach back long for 1. And that first one's a little sticky. But each one should get a little bit more open. Right here is where you really want to feel that stretch.
Right where?
So basically I have my fingertip on my thumb and my fingertip on my hip and my thumb on my bottom rib.
Yeah.
So the space between and kick. That's the psoas attachment. Reach. And kick. And reach. Do one more of these. And then bring those legs together. Feet off the floor, knees stay bent, and you'll open and close the top knee. Exhale and inhale. Inhale and exhale. And then keep the legs together, lower the feet. Do the exact same thing, smaller range of motion. Open and close. And deliberately close. Don't just let the leg drop down. You're actually pressing it down, opening and press open and press to close. Now extend the leg out, keep the toe pointed, and draw a circle with your big toe. Reverse. Rest. Extend both legs and they're both turned out, so the heels are together, the toes are apart. You'll draw that right toe to the left knee, right knee to the right shoulder, extend, flex, and lower at the bottom point. Up to the knee, knee to the shoulder, extend and flex to point. In, extend, flex, lower down, point the toe, draw in, shoulder, extend, flex, lower down. One more time. And then just roll onto the belly. Stack the hands. Press your left foot into the floor and lift your right leg up Then bend your right knee, flex your right foot, and push that right heel to the ceiling. Little press, making sure you're not feeling anything in the low back. Little press, press, lift, lift. 4, 3, 2, hold, point the toe, re-extend the leg, keep it off the floor, and tiny little lift. Little pulse at the top. Trying to keep both hip bones pressing down, really firing into that left leg as you're lifting the right leg up. 4, 3, 2, lower down, push back into your child's pose. And recheck that body, see if things feel a little more even. Hopefully the answer is yes. And then moving into our plank variations. We'll come forward onto the forearms. I like to bring my hands together. I like to clasp my hands palm to palm. From here, you're on the knees. You can come forward with those hips and stay down with the knees. If you're comfortable bringing the knees up off the floor, then bring them up off the floor. And we rock forward and back and forward and back. Inhale, exhale. Pretending that you have a headrest right back behind you, so you're pulling that jawline back. Inhale and exhale. 4, 3, 2, hold, 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 and gently knees down. Sit back, allow the hips to drop to the left, walk the hands to the right, bow your head, hips to the right, hands to the left. Back to center on all fours. Hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Reach your right arm out in front of you. Reach your left leg back behind you. Hips are square. Now open to the corners of your mat. Come back to the center. Open to the corners of the mat. Back to center. One more time. Open to the corners of the mat. Back to center. Place both down. Reach your left arm out, right leg out. One side is usually a little bit more adduct than the other. Open to the corners, and center. Corners, center. One more, corners, center, and lower. One more each side. So we'll reach out, open, close, open, close, open, close, and set down. Other side, foot is flexed, open, and close. Try not to have the leg turn out. You do want to stay parallel and down. Tuck the toes, keep the hands right under the shoulders, and hover your knees. This doesn't feel like much at first, but we're going to hold this. And we'll breathe. We're drawing the belly in, pushing the hands away. Those thighs are going to start to burn.
What's the start of kemosabe?
We're almost there. 2 more full breaths in and out. And then gently knees down and sit back. Last time for child's pose. This time take those knees wide so you can fit in between your thighs. Just letting your forehead rest down. And then we're coming into side bends. Starting seated, working our way from a kneeling position. So seated, we have one leg in front, one leg off to the side. overhead. I like to use my forearm to kind of push, and then I can reach a little bit more, and you're getting that nice stretch right across the top of the hip, waist area. Then come on up, find your knee, and reach the other way, which is not quite as comfortable. And reach over and stretch. And up, and reach. Again, over. So we're going to do both sides, this variation, and then we'll come up onto the knees. So just flip the way you have your legs. And go to the other side first, pushing into that forearm to create length. And up. And over. And up. And over. And up. All right. From the knees, we're going to tilt to one side, reaching the leg out, arm overhead, almost like you're trying to become a rainbow shape, an arc shape. So you can touch the hand down, try to open that shoulder though, and then come down onto your haunch. And we go up over. Notice that my leg that is bent is directly perpendicular to my body when I come up. So I come down long, and then I press and get myself so that that is a perpendicular line to the floor. And down, one more, up and over, and down. Other side. We tip over, we find that perpendicular line, and we reach the arm without hitting the ballet bar. And come on down. And up and over. Reach. And down. Two more. I don't know why this makes my foot cramp. My foot wants to cramp on this. One more. Everything is connected. And on down. Seal. Soles of the feet come together, hands come right underneath those ankles. Lift your feet. We roll back. We're going to clap our feet 3 times. So back, 1, 2, 3, come up, clap, clap, clap. Back, clap, 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 and up, clap, clap, clap. You may find that you have no claps to give, or you may get stuck down there. And if that is the case, this exercise, I think, is comic relief. So help yourself with your laughter. And up. One more. And up. And we are back down. We're going to finish up with teaser and swan dive. I heard no applause. Option 1 on teaser. I'm going to walk you through all the steps. If you want to go straight into your full teaser, feel free to go ahead and begin with that. Otherwise, you have one leg in tabletop, you have your arms overhead. The first version is to take the arms up as you breathe in, find your thigh, and help yourself on up. Reach your arms out, and then roll yourself back down. So you can stay with that the whole time, where you just help yourself up, you reach, and you roll on down. You can also take both legs up. Do the same thing. If you want to grab onto your legs to help yourself up to your teaser position, feel free. Everything's a progression. I do find from the long line the easiest because you can kick into your hip flexors to help you come up. So it starts like the roll up. You take the arms to the ceiling, you press your low back down, you start to roll up, and at the same time, you lift your legs up. You reach those fingertips, and then you roll yourself back down. Smoothly, hopefully. And again, inhale, Exhale on up. Inhale, reach a little more. And roll on down. Inhale. Exhale, roll. Reach. And roll on down. Let's do one more. Inhale the arms. Exhale, roll on up. And roll back down. And just turn over. Swan dive. We have the legs turned out and they're apart. We have the arms out in front of us. Basically your forearms are on the floor. To start, because you're going to press yourself up from here and just lower yourself down to your forearms. I want you to try to maintain this shape as you lower yourself to your forearms. So your legs are going to come up at the same time. Reach. So we've already practiced that nice lift and reach. So now you have more range. And up, and reach, and up. Rock forward, and up. And then sit back on those heels. Basically just a rocking, upward facing dog. Go ahead and tuck those toes and sit back on your heels to stretch out the soles of the feet. Roll into the pinky toes. You can do them at the same time from side to side, or you can go out and in with your feet. Just trying to stretch the soles of the feet, stretching the Achilles a little bit. And then take a seat and sit comfortably. Sit up tall. You want to drop the chin to the chest. One ear to the shoulder. So if you have your right ear to your right shoulder, you're going to place your right hand on your left ear. If you have your left ear to your left shoulder, your left hand goes on the right ear. And then your loose arm just snakes back behind you and tries to hook at the waist. And then you're sitting up even taller. So Diana, I'm going to have you switch the way you have your head. Keep your arms just like they were. There we go. Yep. And then let your, yes. So you're a little teapot. I'm a little teapot. You're going to drop that spout. Taking the hand behind your head, gently find that bony part, that little indentation, and kind of pull on it to lengthen, give yourself a little traction. And release. Center. And other side. So if your left ear is going down, your left hand comes to the right ear. And then that other arm tries to snake back. And then finding that little indentation as you turn your head, creating a little more traction. Release the arms, coming straight ahead. Both hands interlace, go behind your head and gently push your head into your hands and then release. And again, press the head into the hands and release one more time. Press and release. Legs out in front of you. Shake out those knees, deep breath in. Come forward, maybe hook the big toe with your index finger and your middle finger, and just melt. Let the body hang.